Hi, my name is Doug Schneider. Welcome back to Real Hi-Fi, where today I'm going to tackle a topic that I never thought I was going to have to tackle again, and that is whether you should rip your CDs to FLAC, WAV, or some other lossless format. And why I didn't think I'd ever have to bring this up again has to do with what I started 5 years ago when I made a series of videos, FLAC versus WAV themed, where I presented facts, opinions, and recommendations and said basically all I needed to say. Many people watched those videos and found them informative, and I thought, well, that's that. Except in 2026, something changed, and it's causing me to readdress this. But let's first talk about what hasn't changed. What hasn't changed is this. If you rip a CD to FLAC or WAV, you get a bit-for-bit identical file on your computer. Now, the file sizes won't be the same. FLAC uses lossless compression. WAV uses no compression. So the resulting WAV file is much larger, but the data within the files remains the same. And that's really important. Bit for bit identical. So what does that mean? They're going to sound identical. There are those who believe that FLAC doesn't sound as good as WAV, and they go to great lengths to explain why, but they never prove that FLAC does not sound as good as WAV, or vice versa. I have done the test. To me, they sound identical on properly configured hardware. Like I said, no one's proven that they actually sound different. In fact, the contrary. Many people do say they sound the same. But let's say someone just doesn't want to believe they sound the same. Well, here's the thing. They're bit for bit identical, and nobody can dispute that. There are many methods for looking at the data on the disk, but here's a good one. You can convert a FLAC file to WAV, or a WAV file to FLAC, or any other number of lossless formats, and when you come back to the original files, they're all the same data. So for example, you can take a CD and rip it to WAV, take that same CD, rip it to FLAC, convert that FLAC to WAV, or that WAV to FLAC, and you know what? You'll get the same data files. They are bit for bit identical. So, with that said, here's what's changed in 2026. Storage space is at a premium, and I made a video back when that said, well, if you're really unhappy about the idea of lossless compression and you don't mind losing metadata, which is the extra data that FLAC is really good at storing that doesn't have anything to do with the music itself, but it's accompanying information about the music, we'll go with WAV. You'll get a much larger file, but who cares? Storage space is cheap. And it was really cheap, and it was getting cheaper. But as many people know, in 2026, it isn't cheaper. It's much more expensive now. And this is contrary to the way the computer industry typically works, where hardware gets cheaper and cheaper and cheaper and cheaper as the months and years go on. Storage space, whatever kind of drive you look at, they're getting more and more expensive almost by the day, week, month. And who knows when it's going to stop. So here's my advice for FLAC versus WAV 2026. Rip to FLAC, forget WAV. Here's why. You'll get the metadata, but more important, you can always take that FLAC file and convert it to WAV, and you'll save space right now and save money. I hope this helped. Thank you for watching.